You're listening to Female Founders with Claire Bartlett, the podcast that tells you what it is really like to be a female founder in today's world. We share invaluable insights through personal journeys and real-life business experiences, highlighting the highs and the lows so you can move forward in your business with ease. I am passionate to share with you the realities of business and give you the strategies and simple steps you need to truly succeed with your business. Today's episode is brought to you by Xero Accounting Software, a champion of female entrepreneurs and a proud sponsor of the Female Founders podcast. Managing your business finances can feel overwhelming, but Xero simplifies it all and gives you the power to keep your books in order and your mind on growth. Xero have offered an amazing 50% discount on your first 3 months with them. So if you'd like to take advantage of this amazing deal, just search refer.xero.com/female founders or follow the link in the show notes. Don't forget to give this show a follow to make sure you never miss an episode and share it with any incredible female founders you know. But for now, let's jump into this week's episode. Hello, my lovelies, and welcome back to the Female Founders podcast. I'm so excited about today's chat because it is a topic that is so important for all of us. Those who are juggling businesses and families and side hustles. We're diving into something that I know many of us struggle with, the power of rest. Now, specifically, why you need to slow down to speed up. I know it sounds a bit contradictory, but trust me, once you unpack this, you'll see why making rest a priority is key to your success, your growth, and your overall happiness in business and in life. So why are we talking about this today? Well, for many of us, especially those of us who are building businesses, it's hard to give ourselves permission to rest. We're constantly in go, go, go mode, trying to be productive 24/7 because we think that's the only way to succeed. That's what social media and the society around us has told us for years. But here's the truth, that constant hustle without any rest is actually a fast track to burnout. According to a study a few years ago, about 28% of workers report feeling burned out often or always. That's almost a third of us. And as entrepreneurs and small business owners, that number is likely even higher. But here's what I've learned over the years. When you allow yourself to rest, and I mean really rest, you actually become more productive and more creative and more effective. So today we're going to talk about why rest is crucial for your business, how to overcome that guilt of taking downtime, and how to build rest into your day-to-day life. Plus, I'll be sharing some of my favourite tools and methods to help you maximise the benefits of rest. So let's start with why rest is so important, especially for us women in business. Well, first, rest is where our creativity and our clarity come from. If you're constantly going, constantly grinding, you're not giving your mind a chance to recharge. And that's where the real magic happens. When you step away from your work for a bit, you step away from your desk and allow yourself and your brain to breathe, your brain gets a chance to process everything in the background. Have you ever had one of those light bulb moments where you're in the shower or out on a walk and suddenly something you've been stuck on for weeks, suddenly you found the answer? It's been staring you in the face all that time. Or you have been really studying, trying to figure something out at work, and you finally give up and you walk away, go and get a cup of tea or something. And as soon as you come back to it, you see the answer. It's because our minds are so busy and we're trying to cram so much into them all of the time that we're not giving it the space to process and to breathe and to be creative. It's so important to give yourself that space because that when you do that, your brain goes into something called default mode network. And it's during those moments of rest that your brain connects the dots and comes up with those creative solutions. And research does back this up. A study in 2016 said that taking regular breaks actually improves your focus and productivity. It's sort of like hitting a reset button for your brain, allowing you to come back to your tasks with fresh energy and new ideas. So if you're feeling stuck or uninspired in your business right now, rest might be the exact thing that you need. But how can we start to build rest into our daily lives? Because I know a lot of you are thinking, oh, well, yeah, Claire, this sounds all great, but I don't have time to rest. And honestly, I get it. We all have a million things on our to-do list, and it feels like there is never enough time in the day. But honestly, you can't afford not to rest. The good news is it doesn't have to be a huge deal. You don't need to take a 2-week vacation to feel benefits of rest, although, hello, that sounds amazing, right? You can start with just small, manageable changes to your daily routine that can make a big difference. How often in the day do you just give yourself 5 minutes? Do you go and sit in a quiet room or just go and sit in the garden with a cup of tea? It's really important to give yourself that space because, and I get it, right? We're so full of guilt where, we have to be the perfect parent, the perfect wife or partner, the perfect boss at work, the perfect business owner, the perfect, representative, the perfect friend. It is exhausting. And there's that age old saying that you can't pour from an empty cup. And as cliche as that sounds, it is so true. So it's really important that we start prioritizing ourselves. There's loads of different ways that you can do this that start to build rest into your day-to-day routine. And honestly, one of the simplest ways to do this is just to make sure that you're taking regular micro breaks from your desk. This could be as simple as taking just 5 to 10 minutes every hour or two just to step away from your desk. Stretch, go and grab some water, or if you're like me in the UK, go and get that cup of tea, or literally just to breathe. Even a short break can really refresh your mind and help you stay focused. Remember what I was telling you earlier? I have spent years as an accountant staring at Excel spreadsheets, trying to find that lost penny and make sure everything matches perfectly. And sometimes, that saying, you can't see the wood for the trees. You can be staring at something for so long that actually you go blind to it. And it's the same in everything. All the decisions that we have to make as business owners, all of the tasks that we have to do, which decisions we're going to make, which avenue we're going to go down with our business. Sometimes you are so engrossed in it, you've actually gone blind to the solutions that are available to you. And it's only by stepping back, going to get that cup of tea, or just going for a quick walk at lunch, get some fresh air, or just going and having a chat with a colleague. Sometimes just that break, you can reset. And when you come back to your desk, you can see instantly the solution. You know exactly where you're trying to take your business. You know the answer to that query that you've been focusing on for so long. Another technique that I love is the Pomodoro technique. If you haven't heard of it, it's sort of a time management method where you work for 25 minutes and then take a 5-minute break. And after 4 rounds of this, you take a longer break, maybe 15 to 30 minutes. But it's amazing how much more you can actually get done when you break your work into these focused bursts. Now, I know that when I was employed, I would probably have felt quite a bit of guilt if I was getting up from my desk every 25 minutes and potentially had to face some answers. But as an entrepreneur, as your own boss, we get to decide how we work. And by doing this, actually, this has made me so much more productive. I'm not sitting there, losing my concentration, drawing doodles on my notepad because I've lost all motivation. I'm cracking on and getting so much powerful work done in those 25 minutes. And then I'm going to go and get a cup of tea, or I scroll on my social media, or I literally just go and stand out in the garden and have a look at what's growing at the moment. Just by just taking those breaks, it's really important because they help you make sure that you don't get to the burnout level. It's a great way to integrate rest and productivity into your day. And there are apps out there like Focus Booster or Be Focused that can help you stay on track with this technique. But let's not stop there. There's so much more. Micro breaks are great, but really they're like the basic level. I also encourage you to schedule in some white space in your calendar. Now, I learned this the hard way, and I actually didn't really call it this in the beginning. This is something I've learned later. But white space is simply time that you don't have anything planned in your diary. So you're literally planning to not plan or do anything. I know it sounds bizarre, right? But it's not about being lazy or unproductive. It's about giving yourself room to breathe and think and reflect. I got to a point a few years ago where my diary was so insane with meetings and calls and, going to events and things that I didn't even really have time to do my work, let alone think about the business and work on the business. It literally was crazy and so overwhelming to me. So I had to set some boundaries. I now never take a meeting invite before like 10 a.m. any day of the week. I need that time in the morning to just come in, gradually work my way into things, check my emails and see what's been going on, and hopefully get like the main thing done off my to-do list that day. It's helped me so much more just by having that time to myself in the morning. I also give myself afternoons that I don't take any meetings at all. So I'm really strict with my diary now. Like Tuesday afternoons are meeting time. And because I use an app called Calendly, so people basically book in meetings into my diary themselves if I give them the link. But that I can set that so it will only ever accept meeting appointments, meeting confirmations at certain points in the week, every week. And that has really helped me keep these white spaces in my diary that sometimes, literally I will do nothing in, and other times I will use it just to work on the business because I don't always get time for that. But they're really a really easy way to just block off an hour or two each week or hour a day that you don't do any specific tasks, and then instead use that for however you need it that week, whether it's doing something creative, literally just relaxing, having that little nana nap, going outside, or just ticking off some of the stuff that you've been needing to do in your business but haven't had the time to do. It gives me time to recharge so I can really show up better than when I am working. And if you're the type of person who loves to plan things out, you can make rest part of your weekly schedule. So alongside the white space, I schedule in times for the gym, for instance. So I know every week, and my husband knows this is when I'm going to go to the gym. Just like you would schedule meetings or deadlines, block out that time for rest. Give yourself targets. Make sure that you have a plan for it. I'm going to go swimming at this point. I'm going to have I don't know, a massage once a month on the first Monday of the month. Build it into your routine. And it can just be one afternoon off a month or a morning that you go in a bit later or you take things slow. But the key is to plan for rest, just like you plan for work. It needs to be as important to you because when you make rest a priority, you're setting yourself up for success. Another tool I love when it comes to integrating rest is timer apps or meditation apps. So I use one called Balance. I've used it for over a year now. And it's sort of guided meditations and sleep apps. It ranges from like 5 minutes up to an hour, but it helps me focus on everything relaxation to calm my mind and give myself time to think and just be calm in the moment. I really struggled with meditation. It's something I've always wanted to get into, but because my mind is so busy, I don't know about you, but honestly, I feel like I have about 15 conversations going on in my head at any one point. And these apps, this Balance app really helped me, one, understand meditation and how it works, and actually understand that it's okay to not have a completely silent mind, which just made me feel so much better for myself. But it guides you through it. It tells you what to think or what to do or how to breathe. And it's really helped me understand meditation and build that into my life. Then it also has the nighttime sounds and noises and meditations, hypnosis that I can listen to as I'm going to sleep as well, which again has really helped me. So I really recommend having a look at these apps. You don't need to be a meditation expert to use them. And in fact, I was an absolute novice. I had no experience at all apart from what I thought was failing at it. So just, download the app, find yourself a quiet space and close your eyes and just listen. Even 10-minute meditation can honestly do wonders for your stress levels. And then, as I mentioned, for those of you who struggle with sleep, because let's be real, a lot of us don't get enough sleep. There are some great tools out there that can help with that too. Now, I have always struggled to get to sleep. It can take me like an hour of just lying there because my mind is so busy. So there's apps out there that can really help with this. Like I said, I use the Balance app. There's ones called Calm and Headspace. that also offers guided sleep meditations and relaxing sounds. But sleep, honestly, is the ultimate form of rest. We all know, right, that adults are supposed to have like 7 to 9 hours of sleep per night. But so many of us are running on way less than that. And if you're not getting enough sleep, it's going to be really hard to stay focused and motivated during the day. And that's going to impact your business. So if you only take one thing away from this episode today, please let it be to prioritize your sleep. Assess your room. Do you have loads of TV lights or lights around? Can you do anything about that? There's loads of things when you actually start thinking about it that impact your sleep. So start looking around and seeing how you can improve them and try these meditations out. Now, as I mentioned earlier, I know that there is a lot of guilt about resting, which is crazy. But I know it's a real challenge for a lot of us because we've been conditioned to believe that rest is lazy, that we always need to be being productive, and that if we're not constantly working, that we're just falling behind. But honestly, that's just the opposite of the truth because rest is productive. Rest is what is allowing you to show up as your best self, whether that's in your business, for your family, or just for you. One thing that really helped me overcome the guilt of resting was honestly just shifting my mindset from seeing rest as a reward to seeing it as a necessity for my success. Rest isn't something that you earn if you work hard. It's something that you need to function at your best. And this is something in the beginning, in those early days, I did not understand. And I was prioritizing my clients and my business over my own health and rest. So I was, on call to my clients 24/7, which blows my mind now that I ever did that. I'd go on family holidays, but I would always take my work phone and I'd be responding to all my emails. It was honestly, it was insane, but I felt like that's what I needed to do, that was what was expected of me. And it was only when one of my employees said to me one time, I was about to go on holiday with the family abroad, and they said, "Claire, you are not taking your work phone with you. We are not allowing it. The world will not end." And they made me leave my work phone in my drawer in the office. And yes, I had a bit of anxiety about it. I text her, my employee, on her personal number a couple of times. Is everything okay? Like, the building still standing? The company's still going? And you know what? Absolutely everything was fine. Nothing happened. There was no emergencies. I wasn't needed in the slightest, which was mind blowing to me. But I've had a whole week of really top quality time with my family and rest for me and space to think and recharge. And I've never looked back after that. So I absolutely thank that employee. Bless her. She's a friend more than an employee. And I really thank her so much for forcing me to see the light that actually the world will not end if I don't have my work phone with me for a week. Um, but yeah, it made me realize that I don't need to work insanely, all hours God sends to be able to earn a rest. I deserve a rest. More so, it doesn't matter how I've spent my day, I deserve that rest and that recharge time. And if I give myself that time, I will be more successful and I will work better. So it really should become a regular part of your routine, not something that you only give yourself when you're on the verge of burnout. Because honestly, it's what you need to function at your best. And you can reframe the rest as an investment in your business. Think of it this way: when you're well rested, you're more creative, more focused, and more motivated. So you make better decisions for the business and you come up with better ideas. So honestly, in a real tangible way, resting is helping you grow your business. It's not taking time away from your success. It's fueling it. So that's my little rant over today about why rest is so important to you. Just as a recap, we've talked about the power of rest and why slowing down is actually one of the best things that you can do for your business. Whether it's taking those micro breaks during the day, scheduling white space, or just using tools like the Pomodoro technique or some meditation apps, there are so many simple ways to build rest into your routine. And remember, rest isn't just about physical relaxation. It's about giving your mind the space it needs to be creative and effective. So my challenge for you this week is to experiment with some of these strategies. Maybe You can start with just one, like taking those regular breaks or scheduling a no work afternoon once a week. But remember, it's about making small, manageable changes that can have a huge impact on your overall productivity and well-being. Don't forget those tools we mentioned. Go and have a look. Honestly, there are so many app solutions out there for us now. So it's just about finding the one that suits you and is going to benefit you the most. By slowing down, honestly, you are speeding up your success in the long run. So give yourself that permission to rest and recharge and reconnect with why you started your business in the first place. Your mind, your body, and your business will thank you for it. Okay, everyone, that is it for today's episode. I hope that you enjoyed that chat and it's helped you rethink about how you approach rest, given you some practical tips and ways to start building more of it into your life. And if you found this episode helpful, please share it with any friend who you might think needs a little reminder in this area. Make sure that you subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any future episodes, because we are always talking about business strategies, confidence building tips, and all the things that help us keep showing up as our best selves. Take care, stay confident, and keep making that magic happen. I'll see you next week. I hope you've enjoyed today's episode, which was brought to you by Xero Accounting Software, a champion of female entrepreneurs and a proud sponsor of the Female Founders Podcast. If you're running a small business and you're dreaming big, then Xero is here to help make those dreams a reality. Xero is all about supporting women like you, who are not just running businesses, but are also changing the game. So whether you're just starting out or you're scaling up, join a global community of female founders who trust Xero to manage their finances efficiently. Just visit refer.xero.com/female founders to learn more. But for now, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and share this episode with all the incredible female founders you know. And together, let's change what it means to be a female founder in today's world.